Welcome to the Radiant Life with Tatiana. I am your host, and I'm obsessed with empowering you to live and create the best life possible. I'm a master mindset coach, breathwork facilitator, and a passionate little Latina who loves sharing the magic behind your subconscious mind and energetics. If you're looking to uplevel your mindset, learn all about spirituality and manifestation, and to be inspired in making a change to embody your best self, you are in the right place. My goal is for you to see and unlock your limitless potential, to have the tools to break free from the chains holding you back so you can create and live your most radiant life. I am so excited to have you here listening today. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome to the Radiant Life. I just got back from my beautiful, amazing fairy tale dream-like trip to Italy. You guys, it was absolutely everything I could have imagined and more. And while I was on my trip, I had this moment where I realized my views on vacations have shifted. And I really wanted to create this episode on this because I don't really believe in vacations. So now hear me out, because you may hear that and I may ruffle some feathers because what do you mean? We should all have a vacation. We should all have time off work. So hear me out. Before I get into that, let me just say Italy is absolutely amazing. I went 5 years ago. And we missed Rome. So this time we were able to see Rome, go to the Vatican, the Colosseum. We went back to the Amalfi Coast. We got to stay in Positano. We were there for a friend's wedding, which was a dream. I felt like I was a princess in a fairy tale. And so if you missed any of the videos or the content, you want to see my trip, want to see what it looked like, I saved all of my stories on my Instagram IG highlights. You can go check it out. My Instagram's Tatiana_Kuto. And of course, I'm going to be making a vlog for the YouTube for my own memories. And so whenever I share and post that, check that out because this footage is absolutely amazing. And so if you ever want to take a trip to Italy or go back to Italy, if you've ever been before, I'm going to be creating just like a little Google document PDF of my itinerary. I've been asked by quite a few people of, where I stayed, what I did, the tours, places to see, how I got to Amalfi, because it can kind of be logistically difficult. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email and I will send that over to you. But let's get into the juicy part of how my views on vacation shifted. So backstory, I'm in Priano, which is a small little town in Amalfi Coast, in our Airbnb. And they had this beautiful hot tub on the patio, like this grassy patio. And I was sipping some wine and overlooking the coast. You saw the mountains, the cliffs. Our view was of Positano, which is that famous Italian-looking town, which has like all of these little beautiful houses full of colors, all on the cliffside. So I'm sipping my white wine, sitting in this cool temperatured hot tub, and I'm overlooking this coast. And I was just thinking, because throughout my trip, I was getting messages and meeting people on the trip in person. And I kept hearing this common phrase of like, oh, you must be so happy you're on vacation, getting away from life, getting away from your job. After that, like, oh, I bet you're dreading going back home, and vacations are amazing to just get away. And I was sitting there, I was realizing that I don't view vacations the same way anymore. And I'm not dreading going home. You see, 5 years ago when I was working in that corporate engineering job that I hated, I used to live for the weekends and I used to live for my vacations because it was the only time where I felt happy and I got to do what I wanted to do. And so when I was on these trips, I actually was in Italy 5 years ago while I was in corporate back in 2017 with Evan. And I remember, I had the trip of a lifetime. I went to Italy, I went to Spain, I went to Ibiza with my friends. And I just remember the entire time, like I was having so much fun. But in the back of my head, I had that little like anxiety feeling of like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go back home to this job and life that I hate. And I just wasn't, at moments, I wasn't able to be so fully present because I just was dreading that. And it would make me sad. And then I remember going home on the flight, I was like dreading it. I had the worst feeling. And that's not how you want to go back home, right? Like you shouldn't hate your life. You shouldn't dread going back home with that much anxiety or sadness. And so I realized that now when I was thinking about going home, I had no dread. I had no anxiety. I was was more excited. I was like, I'm actually wicked excited to go back home because I mean, I'm going to be doing all these, there's new things coming up. I have all these ideas and like, I love what I do. I love where I live. I love everything about my life that I have created. And so I wanted to bring this awareness to you because if you are living for the weekends, if you are living for your vacations, you know, are you really living? You see, I didn't see this Italy, I saw it as a trip, as an adventure to explore and have experiences. I didn't see it as a vacation to get away from my life because I wasn't burnt out. I don't dread my day-to-day life, tasks, routines. Like I love this life that I have created. There was a time where I didn't, and that's when I made a change. And so if you're sitting here listening, realizing like, oh shoot, like maybe I do live for those 2-3 weeks vacations a year, how are you spending the rest of the 50 weeks of the year? Because like that's a lot of time. And if you're only living for the weekends or for those vacations, are you really living? And I really want to bring this emphasis to you because I would not have made the change if I didn't bring awareness, if I didn't ask myself the questions to make the change, because it is never too late to make a change in your life, in where you live, in your career. You can make a change, but first you need to sit down and reflect and bring awareness. Like, are you happy? Well, how do you wake up in the morning? How do you feel going to work? How do you feel coming back home from work? Are you like relieved and you're like, oh my God, so glad I don't have to be home at work? How do you feel when you think about your trips, your vacations? Is your focus constantly on that just so you can get away and escape reality? And how do you feel when you come back from those trips? Are you in a funk? Are you depressed? Are you miserable? Are you dreading it, right? And bringing awareness to it. Because once you have awareness, you can make a change. So, okay, maybe you don't like where you live, or maybe you don't like a portion of your job, or maybe you are feeling these type of ways. Great. What can you do to change? Because I truly believe you're meant to love what you do. Like, of course, yeah, you're going to have a moment, you know, here and there that there's an aspect of your job that you don't fully enjoy or you get annoyed with, right? You might roll your eyes, but overall, big picture, when you zoom out, do you feel purposeful? Do you feel fulfilled and happy and aligned with what you do on a day-to-day basis? And if you don't, okay, cool. How can you pivot and change? Because yeah, I love my job. I could work endless hours. Sometimes I work too much because I just think it's so much fun doing what I do. And at the same time, I have to learn, you know, the balance of like Tatiana outside of the business. But I love it, right? And so you deserve that love and obsession of your life, of where you live, who you are, what you do. Because we have one life to live, and you guys know. I mean, you're here listening. My mission in life is to empower you, inspire you, to help ignite those passions of you so that you can create the most radiant life that you deserve and you are worthy of. So I just wanted to create this episode to bring some awareness to you. How do you view your trips, your vacations? How do you feel? And if you're not obsessed and in love with your life, if you feel dread and unhappiness in your career, in where you live, in your relationship, anything, what can you do to make a change? Because it's never too late. It is never too late. I don't care if you think you're too old, if you're so many years into your career, into your job. If you are not happy, you can make a change, and you should put yourself first because you are worthy and deserving of a life you love, of a life where you are happy and excited to come back to after an amazing trip, right? You shouldn't have to go on these trips or vacations because you are miserable and you need to escape your reality. No. These are meant for you to explore and experience and just have some fun time off, but not what your focus is on. And so just ask yourself these questions, you know, are you happy with your life? Are you happy with where you live? Are you happy in your relationships? Are you happy with your job, with your career? If not, okay, maybe you create a list. What do you like about whatever you're focusing on, say your career? What do you like? What do you dislike? What are the pros? What are the cons, right? And if you don't like more things than you like, okay, like alert time. What can you do to make a change? Is that going back to school? Is that starting your own business? Or is that maybe starting a side hustle? Maybe you moderately like your job, but maybe there's part of you that knows that there's something missing to make you feel fully happy and fulfilled. And sometimes a side hustle is great. Maybe that's a side business, a business where you're selling your art or jewelry that you like to make on Etsy, whatever it is, right? Or maybe you look into a new job, maybe the same type of job description, but in a different company, maybe a company that actually values you and cares for you, right? But at the end of the day, you can't make a change without asking yourself these questions and without bringing awareness to it. And then if you think the what ifs of like, well, what if the fear, you know what I mean? The fear of failing, or if you start a business or a side hustle, or the fear of not getting a good job or not liking the next job. You don't want to stay in this fear mindset, because if you focus on what if everything goes wrong, or what if it's not what you think, well, why don't we focus your attention on what if it goes good? What if it goes better than you ever expected? What if you find a company that you love, a job or career that like you are so excited about? Because you can have that reality. But you have to believe in it. You have to believe you're worthy of it, you're deserving of it, and that it exists out there, because it totally does. Your beliefs rule your world, right? So encourage you to believe that you can love the career that you're in. You can be happy, fulfilled, and purposeful, and you can have a thriving career that you love, and a thriving family and relationship, and a place that you live in, right? Maybe you have to move. Maybe you're just sick of the snow or the gloomy, rainy weather if that's where you live. Cool, then move. Maybe you're sick of the sunshine and the palm trees and you want to go explore mountains. Cool, then move. Whatever it is, create a life you are obsessed with. A life where you're excited to come home, where you're not dreading it. That you have one life to live, and it's worth living. So I just wanted to share this message. I hope this episode brings awareness to you of why I don't really believe in vacations anymore, because we shouldn't be just taking time off just when we're burnt out, just where we can escape our reality. How can you take care of yourself to prevent the burnout, or have the self-care, or have like fun, maybe weekend trips or one-day trips, so you can still live in this heightened, exploring, adventurous, relaxing state, not just 2 or 3 weeks a year. And I see it in my vicinity with friends, family. I see that people are still living this lifestyle, but I'm here to tell you can make a change. I did it. You can do it, right? I help my clients do it. So I hope this episode brought some awareness to you. If you're sitting here a little confused of where to start, how do I know what I want? How do I know what my purpose is? How do I know that, like, what do I do? How do I get there? How do I gain these answers within myself? Well, that's what I'm here for. So if these are some questions that are kind of coming up for you, I want to just share that I'm here to help support you. There's 2 ways in working with me. This is the focus of my type of coaching, to help you get clear with who you are, your purpose, your passions, get clear with what it is you want, and help teaching you, guiding you on how to get that, how to bring that into your reality, how you can manifest a life you are obsessed with. And so if that feels like you are being called to go a little bit deeper within yourself, to create that life, to step into that next version of yourself, I welcome you into these 2 coaching containers that I have. I do have one-on-one coaching containers where are very more intimate, where we can help you get energetically aligned, either with your business, your relationship, and your life, helping you get clear on your purpose so you can feel happy and fulfilled. And also a group mentorship container, Embrace Your Radiance. And so this container is only open twice a year. I'm opening it back up sometime in August. And so if you feel that may be a good stepping stone for you, I invite you to apply. And so I don't know the dates yet when I'm going to be starting that. Apply. I'll put the links for both applications below, one-on-one coaching and Embrace Your Radiance, a group coaching program. And we can discuss, see what's a good fit for you based on where you're at and where you want to go. And we'll go from there. But I'm finally back from traveling. I am now accepting one-on-one clients again. I took a step back because I was traveling so much. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you live a life where you are actually excited to come back home. I'm here to help you reach that next level of yourself so you can make a better impact in whether it is your business, your career, your relationship, so you can feel more happy, make more money, and just be totally obsessed with the life you live. So I'm so excited to hear from you. If this resonates, I would love to guide, support you, hold you accountable to create the most radiant life that you could ever imagine. And I hope this episode really resonated. I hope this shifted your view on vacations and more of like trips to experience the world, and give yourself some time to reflect. I'm recording this and we're halfway through 2022. So what a perfect way to reflect on your life, what changes you can make. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. If this resonated, as always, please take a screenshot, share it with me on Instagram, or send me a message. You can email me, send me a DM. I love keeping these conversations going just to see how I can best support you. All right. I love and appreciate you so much. Continue to shine bright and have the most radiant day ever. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to share it with me and write an Apple iTunes review so I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me, you can find me on Instagram at Tatiana_Couto. Make sure to tag me in any posts that you share. I love and appreciate you so much and cannot wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out and radiate your light into the world.